L'chaim!
Shalom! Welcome to another episode of the Matzo Ball Soup. I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Konstantine, and this is episode 10. Episode 10 is brought to you by...
Absolutely no one. And if you'd like to get a hold of no one, then call nobody. So, alright, that was our first ad.
Those guys are great. I use them all the time.
All the time.
That's one of my favorite products out there.
So how's your week been?
It's good, man.
Good?
It's been great. This is my first healthy 100% week. I feel amazing.
What does that mean?
The past 4 weeks I was sick on the podcast.
Healthy like that.
Yeah, I can actually hear my voice right now, and it's like, wow, I sound great.
So this is interesting. So you're here talking about healthy in that regards, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as you said healthy, I thought you were like on a new diet and exercise program. That's immediately what I would thought. So that's why I was like, oh, what are you doing?
Well, I am trying. I've been drinking protein shakes every day.
Okay.
And trying to supplement that for one meal. And I've been trying to tweak my diet to get away from carbs more or less. But, man, I love them.
Love donuts.
God. I love it all.
What protein shake? Like a whey protein?
Yeah, it's whey with a whey protein isolate.
Okay.
I get it at one of the wholesalers, like BJ's Wholesale Club.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's
what
cool.
is it flavored?
Yeah, peanut butter.
Nice.
I put a banana, peanut butter, an Activia yogurt, and a little bit of milk, and that's how I make my...
Blender?
In the blender, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I gotta blend it. If it gets too chunky and chalky from the spoon, I hate that. It just turns me off to the protein shakes then.
Yeah.
That's always what kills it. You gotta put it in the blender, get it frothy, and then you can drink it.
I don't know. So I agree with you that it certainly with that effort, it will taste better. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I'm not willing to put in that effort because I just put that shit... So I've even forgotten my cup at the gym, and I've gone to where they have, the free coffee. Uh-huh. And grab one of the little what is it, 8 ounce?
Right, gotcha.
Styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
And
a stir.
A stir.
Stir straw.
And I just put the regular dose in that much water.
Yeah.
I stirred as best as it can.
And then you drink it clumpy.
I just put it down.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
mean, it still has the same effect.
I get it, but for me, I actually try to enjoy it as a meal, I mean, okay, so I'll put it to you this way.
Oh, so you're doing like a meal replacement.
Right, so in the mornings, make my wife food before she goes to work. So she's sitting there eating eggs and this and that, and it makes me hungry. I want to eat that with her.
Sure.
And I used to eat it with her, and I was getting a little bit too big. So no lie. So I decided...
No, I'm sitting here looking at you. You're not lying.
This is like pot calling the kettle black. Damn it. So anyway, I decided, I was like, I'm going to get these protein shakes. And I started making them to sit there and drink while she's eating her breakfast. So at least I feel like I'm getting satiated, but I'm not eating terrible, greasy foods.
I got you.
Dude,
what are you cooking her?
Whatever she wants.
Like a full fucking breakfast.
She's pregnant AF, dude. She wakes up with a craving. I'm like Chef KJ all the time, dude. I just want her to be happy and go to work and... not have a bad day. Yeah,
no, we all just want to have a fucking good day.
Good day, yeah.
So, okay, so that's cool. So, my problem is, it's not that I don't mind making that shit, right? Putting the effort, like you said, your Activia for the digestion,
Yeah.
Good bowel movement.
Yeah, after I got sick, I started doing all the yogurts and cottage cheeses to balance out my stomach, and I just kind of kept that as part of it, because those antibiotics wiped me out, man.
So you're talking about probiotics.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping to gain from that food?
Or the yogurts.
Yeah, and the cottage cheese.
Yeah, they have. Okay. They're probiotic in the sense that they have live cultures in them.
Yeah, right. No, so what about a non-dairy, no dairy situation?
To get probiotic food?
No.
Oatmeal
to lose weight.
Oh, to cut out dairy altogether?
Yeah.
See, I understand. I get that. And I might do that too, but I'm just trying to tweak it,
Yeah, no, you don't want to jump.
I'm still in the gym and I'm pumping big weights.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into a nutrient deficiency and let my muscles suffer from it.
Right.
So I'm trying to find ways to tweak it so that my body can go into more of a cutting phase, It's all crazy. But what happens is I get great all day. I'll eat right, I'll eat clean, I'll be fine, and I get home at night and
game on.
It's like
the breads and the cheeses and all that shit come out.
I'm coming back from the gym. I'm tired. I'm worn out. I've been stressing out about business, whatever I got to do. and then I see the fridge, and I'm cooking for my wife, and I'm just like, I'm eating this food. Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough, man. It's tough.
It is tough.
You know, when you're young and you're single, you can eat once a day, and you don't even think about it. You're like, it's fine. Just put everything away in the fridge, and I won't even look at it. Now, there's always people eating.
Yeah, especially with a pregnant wife.
Always. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So okay, so that's cool. So would you do? So now you're trying to do these shakes as like a straight meal, like a meal is replaced by this shake.
Yeah,
breakfast.
Yeah, I won't eat after that till later in the day.
Okay.
I try not.
So do you eat 3 square?
Well,
I was always under the impression, and what I've always known, and the theory behind it, I think, just makes sense to me. That's why. But the like multiple small meals throughout a day.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, they say because then it always is making your metabolism work.
What worked for you?
That's not what worked for me was playing ice hockey.
Okay.
And being an athlete growing up and training for whatever sport I was in.
All right, but so you've cut back on.
But that's an impossible life to live.
Cut back on your athletic. I don't want to say capabilities, but your time to put into athletics.
Certainly.
So
I would say that's a fair assessment.
Fair assessment. So now you have to reduce the amount of fuel going into your body to compensate for that lack.
But multiple small meals, no, small meals. I'm talking.
I think there's so many theories. You know, you have the intermittent fasting people, the ketosis people, the small meals people, the 3 square people, the guys who only eat 1 meal a day and that's it. And they just drink water the rest of the time.
Yeah, but you also have to throw in the added little element, which is I'm a diabetic.
Absolutely.
So that's like a whole nother fucking.
So you have a whole other thing going on.
No, it's a good time.
I mean, can you meal plan like that though?
Yeah, I do.
Being married, having a wife, I find that so hard because trying to get her to eat pre-planned meals.
It is.
Fucking hard. It's like asking her to like put up with my dietary needs. So I end up having to cook for her anyways. So I just try and find ways to cook
but you
things.
can still do both, right?
I try to find ways to cook things that are cleaner.
So
that I can stay away from the heavier, starchier stuff when I'm cooking for her. And it's just it's tough. It's tough.
At the end of the day, though, it comes down to it's a simple thing that one of my great uncles told me, who was a doctor, and it's as simple as calories in, calories out. That's it. I mean, when you just want to clean out all the other bullshit that can be fatty or whatever. Yeah. Not 100%. Fatty FATT, but fat ED. Yeah. It's calories in, calories out.
That's it. No, 100%. That's it. So it's just a matter of trying to tone down what you're doing. But in essence, what you can do if you have to sustain a certain amount of calories to keep your day going, you can just make sure those calories are good calories.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
Increase the protein, decrease the sugars, decrease the starches.
Exactly.
Try and eat some decent fats in between.
Yeah.
You know, like instead of saying, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to make waffles or pancakes, and then for lunch I'm going to have a big hoagie, and then at dinner I'm going to have pasta. Like, you're just shooting yourself in the face.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
Like,
I'd be dead by bedtime.
Sounds amazing, right? I'd be dead by bedtime. Then you're like, I need 2 or 3 scotches to go to bed. You know, like too much sugar, too much energy. But
I don't know. Yeah, I eat the same fucking thing basically every day.
No, you have to though, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But you're losing weight since I last saw when I first saw you when you moved back till now. You look 10 times.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I mean,
way crazy.
It's fucking shitty. It is. I mean, that's just it is what it is. But it is.
We're old too, man. That's the fucking thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But then I see guys like Dave, who was on the show last week.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he's our age, a little bit older than us, and he looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, the guy's a rocker. That's like he's a straight rocker. So speaking of last week, I thought it was great. DaveBrayUSA.com.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
For anybody who missed last week's episode, check it out. We interviewed great guy Dave Bray, and we both at the end of it, when we had time to just kind of recap the night, we both were ecstatic that it turned out to be a good time.
I want to do that with this show. I really want to find creatives like Dave to come on the show. So if you guys you guys know anybody that wants to come on and talk about their experience creating or producing or doing things, in an artistic nature, tell them to reach out to us, or send us their info so we can reach out to them. That'd be awesome.
The email is the matzo ball soup at gmail.com.
That's it. Yeah. Don't forget.
But yeah, so I thought it went great. He's a cool dude. We talked at the end about doing another one with him. He's going to come back.
He'll come back on,
and maybe play some music next time. That's what we missed out on. We were just kind of listening to the whole story, and we didn't even get him to sing a song. But
it was
next
cool,
time we definitely will.
Heck yeah.
So
in the news this week.
That's where I was just going to go.
In the news this week, our friend Jesse Smollett, who we've talked about multiple times on the show now.
Wait, I seriously think I said this. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
What?
But I seriously think I said this the last time we talked about him, which was, whatever, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is it Smollett as you pronounce it, or is it Smollett? I hear Smollett.
Is it Target or Target?
No, that's clearly Target, but is it Smollett? Because that's all I've hear. And Smollett,
I don't know.
You put this...
I think I've heard it pronounced Smollett.
Really?
I believe.
Okay. Then.
I mean, but I've also heard it pronounced Smollett, so I'm confused. I'm not sure.
He's fucking confused.
Well, no, he's connected. Like,
That certainly seems to be
connected.
the case.
Oh
that
my gosh.
was crazy.
He's like a Kennedy, right? It's like when Kennedy killed that
Maybe
girl.
it's definitely Smollett.
Remember when Kennedy killed that girl? He drove her on Lake, what was it? Chippewa or whatever. Chappaquiddick, that's what it is.
Yeah, dude.
And he left her there dead, and he got away with it. This guy did the same fucking thing here. I mean, he didn't kill anybody, but
No, he didn't. But he broke the law.
He definitely did something, got caught for it, and just walked away clean. That's some baller connections, man.
Yeah, and then to icing on the cake, it came out and just was like, shit didn't happen. Nothing to see here. Go back to fucking bed.
Sleep.
Holy shit. I mean, good for him, I guess, for being like that. But there's definitely a two-tiered justice system.
Wow.
That's for sure.
It's unreal.
Unreal.
It really is unreal.
Yeah.
If you know people in politics, if you know a senator or you know somebody, you can get away with murder in this country. It's fucking crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
But
look, it's crazier that the mayor, Rahm Emanuel, who was a very left-leaning liberal.
Yeah, he was Obama's chief of staff.
Yeah, probably the leftist guy in a position like that. He was up in arms. He was
that's the part that's got me a little confused. It's almost like he broke away or something in that moment.
Something happened
from the machine.
Either that or people outside of the machine are pulling strings right now, and he's like, you're making us look bad.
Something was off with that, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole just because on the surface, the fact that.
Well, so, but from my understanding, the Fed can still come in.
It was, I believe, and honestly, I don't know much other than what I listened to and saw some clips of. So I don't really know where it stands. I think I heard something, and I can only say that. Well,
that was only the state DA.
Correct. I heard it was given to the feds.
All the charges. And the state DA, when he dropped the charges, he even said, I can't say that he's innocent, but we've made a deal to
What was the fucking deal?
So
I know the deal. The guy gets his $10,000 bond forfeited.
And they honored some community service that he had done
2 days before or something.
Or a week
before. Whatever. Who fucking
knows?
He
worked at Jesse Jackson's office, right?
Was that what it was?
That was his community service. He was working for the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Do you think he even went in?
If he did, do you think he just sat on a couch the whole time? I don't know what the fuck he did. It's community service. I did community service in my church when I was in college, and I basically cleaned out some closets and then defragmented a computer for them.
But do you think he actually did anything?
I don't know. I mean, he was already rich and famous when he did it, so was it more of a stop by,
meet and greet,
take some pictures with some people, and let's have lunch and some cocktails? Like, this guy's a famous actor. What kind of community service was he doing?
He's an infamous actor now.
He's an infamous actor.
Do you think he'll work?
Or
do you think he just disappears?
Me. Nothing surprises me.
I mean, he's an activist, right? Clearly.
I mean, he's It's what he is, yeah.
So he's not going away.
But see, activism like that makes me think that people do it using that platform to make themselves famous.
Right, but who said, and I don't know, but you know this old adage is any news is good news.
Any news is good news.
Or all news is good
news. All news is good news, yeah, yeah. But at the same token, I don't think he expected to get caught. I think he thought he was going to get away with it.
Right, and be the victim.
And boost his... You know, I mean, think about that. If he would have got away with it, let's just say hypothetically, and he was walking around right now with this, you know, poor guy, this and that, and he wants to stand up and fight, he could easily run for office and win a fucking seat based on that story alone.
You're so right. Or he was just looking to get himself a bigger paycheck. He was already getting $100,000 an episode.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean...
How many episodes is in a season of...
When you say getting a bigger paycheck, I just don't see how that would have made the production company be like, we're going to give this guy more money. But to increase his Instagram followers and make money there and everywhere else, you know.
But if he would have, like you say, increased his, I'll just say, social media presence.
Whatever, yeah. He might have been able to demand more money.
Correct.
Because I already have a built-in following.
Correct.
Yeah, sure.
So, and I think there was something that was mentioned that was a motive behind something.
What do you mean? Motive behind him doing it?
Yeah, he also wrote a letter.
Well,
and filled it with white powder and sent it to the set of Empire.
Yeah, and that was what the biggest charge would have been against him was mail fraud. Everything else was kind of
I think
misdemeanor
falsifying a hoax. No, it was 16 felonies.
Yeah, really?
Or 15, yeah, 15 or 16 felonies.
Yeah, but the big one was tampering with federal mail.
I don't know.
Because that's
to me, you say the big one, like a misdemeanor is. I'm
no,
not
yeah,
looking
you're
to
right.
get a fucking
They're all
misdemeanor
felonies,
either.
but what do they all hold? You know, like what does I see this is part of the problem with the legal system is you don't actually know what you get if you get convicted of something. There should be a menu that says if you get convicted of murder 1, you're getting 15 to 25 years or life in prison. If you get murder 2, it's 15 to 30 years or life, or whatever, you know? If you get caught...
No, but things...
You never know.
I think they're like that. However, in a lot of cases, you're talking murder and shit like that.
No, but I'm saying
there's multiple charges which each carry a different thing. So then there's deals made and da-da-da.
Yeah, but it was his deal. His deal was...
And they said they were going to fucking seal that shit and expunge his record.
Right, yeah. But they can't really do that if the FBI gets involved.
Well, if it goes federal, then it's a different situation.
It's a different situation, yeah. I mean, if that guy...
I don't think he's out of the fucking woodwork.
Hot water yet, yeah.
I just don't understand why people want to perpetuate the hate.
Makes money.
Yeah.
It makes money, dude.
Crazy.
It makes money in a kind of a way. I mean, and he kind of proved that, unfortunately. You know.
Do you think he's making money? You think he's making money since this all went down? Honestly. You think anybody's dumb enough to fucking touch him right now?
You mean to work with him?
Yeah, to give him money.
There's definitely a
market for that. You're so right.
There's definitely somebody out there trying to get him a book deal.
I would agree that's
there's a $2-3 million book deal lined up already just on this story alone. People would buy this fucking book because they're that stupid.
That's so true.
I'm just saying. I mean, I go to BJ's Wholesale Club or whatever, and I look at the books that they sell there, and some of them are just, really? Who wants to read that? You know, I don't want to call out anybody, but you know, it's amazing how many markets there are in the world, what people are into. It's crazy.
Oh, no, it's bananas. And let me tell you something else. There's such a market for that fucking activism.
Yeah. They
hired people to go to certain places and picket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all NGO stuff. So that's big money coming from, you know.
Yeah, like
all kinds of people out there.
Big billionaire.
The billionaire class who wants to make their voice heard. I mean, whether they're left or right, because I mean, the Koch brothers on the right are doing the same thing. Just they put their money into political speech through PAC funds.
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah, but the liberals, for some reason, they like the chaos, the anarchy theory. They like to give young kids money to wear black masks and go smash windows of a Starbucks.
Shit.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that's all Saul Alinsky shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But where the right's like, let's just buy a bunch of politicians and get a bunch of guys in there buying them dinner every night or drinks every time they're out at the bar, so we can get them to vote our way.
And the problem is that the people that could put in regulation to stop this shit are the ones benefiting from the shit. And their circles, and so it's never going to change.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when you give people with a lot of money a bigger voice, that's what's always going to happen. And the only trick is to make sure that we stick to the Constitution as it was constructed, but apply it evenly. So, a lot of people, I think the problem with the Constitution is that it was written by a group of white men 200 years ago. But that doesn't mean it can't be applied evenly to all people.
Right.
And if we get back to those basics but apply it evenly so people of all shades can get a fair shake at the constitutional road, it's unstoppable.
What do you mean by what applications?
Well, you said it's a two-tiered system.
A two-tiered justice system,
right,
but I believe that's between
So what I'm saying is get back to the Constitution and try and get judges that aren't left or right, that are constitutionalists.
Just law-driven.
There should be a law-driven mentality. Right. You're not here
but
to
it's big
pick,
money
to
that
pick
comes
a politics. In. Sure, and that's where that speech comes in that I'm talking about. That it's very detrimental to our lifestyles because someone with a lot of money who thinks, oh, I made $10 billion, now I can tell people how they should live. Like, cool, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, period.
Period. Spend your money. Come spend it in our neighborhood. We can use the upgrades.
Right, or don't, but just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but don't come and tell me I have to wipe my ass with my left hand because my right hand,
Right, don't tell me I can't have a 62-ounce Coke in Manhattan.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
seriously, who the fuck are you?
I mean, right now we've gotten to a point in society where if you own your own private business, you can't have smoking in it. So, if I want to provide a certain atmosphere, I can't provide that because I'm legally bound down not to do it. We're being told
people can choose. That's what capitalism.
Well, and that's the whole point. If it wasn't that, if it wasn't effective, you wouldn't have to stop people.
That's exactly. So if people don't want to smoke, they won't fucking patronize you.
Right.
Period.
I mean, I feel the same way about drugs too. Like legalize everything.
I agree. And prostitution.
If someone's gonna do drugs and go out in the streets and act like a fool and hurt themselves or somebody else, then arrest that person for being an idiot.
Correct.
But if somebody wants to sit in their home and or go to a clinic or somewhere where they can do heroin and try and get healthy, with clean drugs, not this fentanyl
right,
stuff
but
that's killing
that's
people.
fine. I'm fine with that, but they can't. I'm not. What I'm not fine with is tax dollars going to pay for a clinic like that.
Dude, but if it was all legal,
then let the free market put a building up and call it a clinic.
I know, but I'm saying it would be like the cigarette companies that spent billions of dollars to set up non-smoking programs. You understand? And spend research and development on how to quit addiction. Like all this stuff that they do. This would be the same thing. You take the tax dollars from the heroin or the cocaine to develop these clinics.
Why not let the clinics be put up? If everything was legal, right? I mean, let's just take Amsterdam for a microcosm example. But they made weed legal. Places popped up, coffee shops. That people go in and pay money. The fucking government's not paying for those places. Right. So a heroin clinic.
No, that's my whole point.
No, but the government shouldn't collect and then it shouldn't be subsidizing those things. No,
but the government should tax in order to create resources for people who are highly addicted to go and talk to people. It's called medicine. Okay. You and I argue on this sometimes because I think that the government needs to get more involved in the medical industry. It's run away.
In what regard, though? Because in what regard?
In what regard? I think they need to break down the monopolies, re-establish some sort of order, and allow people to buy from programs from anywhere in the country. Like get rid of this state kibosh.
It's gone.
On it. Huh?
It's gone.
So you can buy.
You can buy across state lines. I sent you the article today.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I should have read the article.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Today.
No, I forget the date. It's in there. I forget.
Wait, was it an executive order or was it law?
No, it's not a law. I don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. But it's in effect. It's in effect.
I want to do the research on. Well, then insurance this fall. When the things are should be cheap.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
You know, when I hear you say something like that, or people say something like that, like, you know, do you think how's your experience at the DMV?
No, I don't want the
How's
government.
your
I don't want the
experience at your
government.
post office?
You got this wrong. I want the government to regulate. That's what they do. I don't want them to open hospitals.
No, I
By
get
any
that.
means.
I get that.
Yeah.
But they can't. They don't know how to run shit.
Yeah, but that's why they're lawmakers.
Why do we need to? We need them to pass laws.
Yes, we do. We do. We should have a law that says that hospitals need to give us their prices on everything they do before we get it done. You should be able to, like a McDonald's, to walk into a hospital and see what you're paying for.
100% agree. But that's not a health insurance problem. But that's a healthcare problem.
And that's how you do it. You pass laws to have healthcare. Do you think
that's fine?
Do you think
but
the
that's
back
not
of your
giving
soda,
people free.
the back of your Coca-Cola that says like how many calories it is and how much sugar it is, so you can read it with your diabetes and make sure you don't kill yourself?
That's mandated.
It's not a mandated law. These are the laws they need to pass to really stop the industry from running away.
I agree, but that's not them running the industry.
I don't want them to run the industry. I never said I wanted the industry run. I said they need to step in and regulate and blow up the monopolies, which
they also need to deregulate.
The monopolies
shit
are
too.
the insurance companies, because insurance companies are monopolistic. How many insurance choices do you have in this state? 2?
No, you got more than 2.
Yeah, you got a handful.
But okay, how many cell phone carriers do you have a choice of doing? I mean, certain industries aren't going to have thousands and thousands.
But anybody could break it. Look, okay, I'm going to give you an example.
But now with the opportunity to go across state lines, clearly that opens the gate.
Hopefully, it opens the gate and things change big time. I'm waiting to see, because it's been a disaster. They're going to change their plans.
100%.
Groups are going to explode. They're going to have exponentially big groups, which
if you could do different, like imagine like if you could get the restaurant association, all those restaurants to come in and be a group.
Be one group, exactly.
I think that certainly. I think certain things like that should be mandated. However, I don't. There are these people out there, and I don't want to say any that are candidates that are talking about free healthcare for all.
Well, nothing's free, but I mean,
So we're not talking. I'm not talking. How nothing's free. So where does the money come from to give every single person, and they want to let more people into the country, healthcare? It's got to come from somewhere.
I don't think you can offer everybody healthcare, but what Canada does and what other European countries do is they have a government option, which could be shit for all I care, just as long as people get basic coverage, and make them go out, and the actuaries go out and fight the insurance companies and bring down prices and whatever, and just kind of be the thorn in the side of the insurance companies by showing in regulating, not regulating, but finding ways to get better pricing from the hospitals and stuff, be competitive, and then don't stifle the insurance companies from opening up. Don't create barriers to entry. When they got rid of this kind of system that we have with our health insurance in the car industry, car insurance has dropped by like 500%. It literally went haywire as nuts, because you went from being only able to buy insurance in Pennsylvania to Geico.
No, right.
It changed the industry. Within 5 years, everybody had a car insurance.
Geico's been around for a long time.
Yeah, when did that happen? They broke that up in the 90s, early 90s.
Like they've been around since like 1920 fucking something.
Right, but they might have been in separate states.
It stands for Government Employee Insurance Company.
Well, there you go. See? It was the government option that came into the car industry and changed the industry.
But you know who owns it now, right? Is Berkshire Hathaway is
a major
Warren
shareholder.
Buffett.
Yeah. And that's fine. Do the same thing here. Create a Geico.
But I think create
a Geico that everybody can get on.
What's in the car industry?
Yeah.
Is like what you said, is a menu with pricing.
That's
why we have a healthcare industry situation. It's not necessarily so much an insurance, although I'm not saying the insurance industry is perfect.
No, I'm going to tell you what happened when they did Obamacare, and this is exactly why it's a disaster. When they did Obamacare, they signed that all the hospitals would receive 3 times bigger payments that they were getting for the services they were providing. So that's why today you see so many hospitals. I mean, so many private doctors disappearing because they're all franchising and going up to the big hospitals because they can charge more through Obamacare and all that. That's why it's gone out of control. When they signed that bill, it was just a layup because they got all the hospitals to sign on board because they gave them a sweetheart deal.
Yeah, but now there's no their money's not there.
Right, there's no competition. They've created monopolies. They created a vacuum, and now we have a monopolistic system. That's what I keep saying. They need to find a way to break that up and create a system.
They need to get rid of fucking
They need
the Affordable Health Care Act.
They need competition. Yeah, but I agree. It should be gone. But they need to do these regulations I'm talking about in order to set the system up for success.
Well, there's so much more that it's way above my pay grade. But
of course, we're not actuaries.
No, actually,
we're just really good looking guys. I mean.
I just think that you can't have the government mandating and
no, I don't think I think Medicare for all is kind of I think it's kind of rough because what you're doing then is taking on everybody's health.
Right.
And then you got to be expected to pay for it. But creating a government option separate, like a government employee, like Geico, a government employee type plan for people to jump on at a cheaper rate, subsidized by the government, so that it can compete against the other insurance companies. You and I would be able to go to Blue Cross Blue Shield then and get a Cadillac plan for $50 a month because they have to compete with the government now.
Yeah, but where does the money come from for the government?
What do you mean for the government?
How's the money? So you're saying
people would still have to pay. They would just set up their own insurance company. Like people would have to pay for the insurance, but it might be $50 a month, $100 a month.
Why is it so cheap?
Because they're not taking profits. Because it's a nonprofit organization. When you look at what these insurance companies are making,
yeah, but none of the car
billions.
insurance companies aren't fucking nonprofit organizations.
Right? They got everything. They found a way to compete, become relevant, give decent prices, and still make money.
So why does the government have to get involved in any capacity, even in your scenario, which is certainly not paying for it? Although you still haven't sold me on that yet. But wait, mm-hmm. Why do they need to get involved? Deregulate. Okay.
Sure.
Open up the fucking market. Sure. Let a little guy come in and bring the prices down in that fashion.
Listen, in any industry without some kind of government subsidies and intervention, historically, there's trouble when you have big organizations that can eat the market out. You see it everywhere. And I'll give you a good example. In the 1970s, Harley was struggling to get their business up and running, so they asked the government to put tariffs on Japanese bikes. They did this.
Well, that's what we just did with the steel.
Right, same idea. So this is what I'm trying to say. In the case of the medical industry, if you find a way to create a company with a little bit of government oversight that's going to be nonprofit and all the money is going to go back into... But putting a tariff
on Japanese bikes
yes.
is not the same as having a competitive...
market.
Business.
I'm not saying
business.
I'm not
you
saying
said
take
the government.
Competition out of the. I'm not saying take the competition out. I'm just saying create an option that the government's going to say, look.
But how does the government set that up? How do they let's say they get day one.
Yeah.
1 million people. Uh-huh. So where does their money come from to?
The people have to pay still. You don't understand. The people are going to pay.
$50?
Maybe $100 a month. I don't know. Right now, people are averaging $25,000 a year for a family of four to get coverage.
I'm not disagreeing. Like, the shit's crazy. Fucking bananas.
But the government would also have the power to send their goons in to the hospitals and say no.
Yeah,
it shouldn't cost $10,000 for a day for someone to come here. You're out of your fucking mind. We're gonna give you $2,000.
Yeah, that's where me and you're just not gonna see eye to eye because I don't want the fucking government coming in on anything. I don't want their goons, whoever the fuck these jokers are, coming in and doing fucking anything. You let these motherfuckers in once, they just inch in.
No, man. Did that happen with the auto industry?
I don't know enough about it to say that.
It didn't happen with auto industry.
Listen, I can't deny that auto insurance is
cheap.
Way cheap. But I mean, can you compare what it takes to... It's about the health care.
Listen, for $1 million in fucking coverage on my car, I spend $1,000 a year. $1 million.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I'm not fucking
For $1 million in healthcare coverage, you're spending 20 G's a fucking year.
Listen, my argument is not that it's ridiculous in fucking cost. My argument is that I don't want the fucking government doing anything. What I want is the government.
Has a purpose, though. You're acting like the government should disappear.
No,
we have the
I didn't say
government
that.
to make laws, and laws contribute to the success of this country. It's how it is.
I mean, actually, the government's more for like providing for the common defense and
and creating laws and sustaining societal norms. I mean, it's what it is. That's what it is.
I don't think so.
So let's take away government.
I don't want my government.
Let's take away government
to dictate societal norms.
Okay, so you're saying that we should let pedophiles rape children because you
don't
don't want the government involved?
Of course, there's going to be laws that make sense but I'm not. I don't want. No, you said they're gonna send their fucking goons in.
Yeah, just like everything else, the IRS, they send fucking the IRS in.
I disagree with the IRS.
I don't like the IRS either. They're a little too rough for me.
But that's my fucking point. Those are government.
But we're trying to send these guys up after the big corporations, not me and you, bro. This is the whole point. If it's government of the people.
Okay,
GOP,
I guess here's what I'm saying.
If it's government of the people, here's my problem. We have an organization, IRS, that fucks the people. And I'm saying,
of course. So you want them to come in and take over our fucking healthcare?
No, I don't want them to take over healthcare.
You want them to send your fucking goons in?
Go in and shake them down and bring down the prices.
I'm in the hospital dying of pancreatitis, and their fucking goons are coming.
Yeah, but there has to be some sort of regulation. You can't just let doctors charge whatever the fuck they want.
I agree.
Like, it's bullshit.
I haven't disagreed with any of your problems.
Right.
Where I disagree is your solution.
So what's your solution then? Who's gonna pull the magic feather out of their fucking ass with the laws the way they're set up and get the hospitals to stop acting the way they act?
Okay. So what I think is that we have a healthcare situation problem, meaning, like you said, we need to know the cost of things. Things should be standard across the board.
Sure.
I mean, give or take, a gallon of gas here is the same, give or take, as a gallon of gas there. I get that.
So a proctal exam should be.
That's correct, but that's not an insurance issue. Let you really want to open it up to the insurance. It's a racket because they're fucking charging the doctor's charging the insurance company, and they're like, no, we're not going to pay it. We're going to pay that. But what they do is they inflate that number. They're saying, hey, it's going to cost you, $50,000 for me to pull that hangnail, right. And the insurance company says, no, we'll pay you $30,000.
Right. No, I get
whatever
that.
the fucking deal is, but of course, it cost them $30.
I know how much it costs. It costs nothing really, and that's the fucking bullshit. But that's where we need government to step in and say, whoa. We need a little bit of, the people have voiced their opinion, and they're done with this. You guys need to figure out what the prices are and stop overcharging people. Period. The end.
I agree.
And here's where you're missing it in all the argument. Right now, part of the reason that hospitals complain or try and change the game is because they have this Hippocratic oath or whatever in this country where if somebody comes in the hospital, they have to treat them.
Sure.
So we used to have the problem before Obamacare where the emergency rooms were just filled with people. Like it would take hours to get in because, the lady from down the street who didn't have insurance would take her kid because he had a cough and a cold.
I understand that.
So all those funds that weren't being collected, okay, so who paid for those? Who's paying for those right now?
Well, I can.
You and I are through higher costs at the hospital.
That's a piece of it, yes.
Yes.
But let me also say something else in regards to that specifically. Mm-hmm. That there's also charitable write-offs that the hospital can get, and they can go against their taxes. So they're giving a lot of those services away as well.
I understand.
But look what happened. There was an issue with the emergency rooms, which clearly nobody would deny. I would say it's still not good.
No, it's not great.
However, that's where you can get guaranteed health care. You can get treated to live at an emergency room.
Sure.
Okay, but overcrowding caused what? The capitalistic market to go into fucking overdrive, and all these urgent care places have been popping up in the last decade.
Yeah, that's only happened because the laws changed. Do you understand?
Well, but
there's legal precedents behind it that allowed that to perpetuate. And if the legal
that's still not letting the goons come in.
Okay, goons, fine. Fuck the goons. I'm just saying.
But the IRS is a goon.
If you and I started a company, a health care company or any kind of company, and we wanted something to get done, we would send our best people in, our goons. Okay, so when I said it like that, I was just saying.
I understand that, but I also don't want.
Maybe they just find they subsidize a not-for-profit that can go out and create some competition to these other guys. Do you understand?
Of course I
What if
understand.
they did it that way? What if it was like, we're going to get these guys from these companies to work in a not-for-profit, we'll pay them market fair value, but their goal is to create a company that takes all the proceeds back, all the profits, and puts it right back into
Who starts that
cost of
company,
doing
though?
business. Well, you just got to set up a program through the government to start the company, and then you can appoint people. There's
don't like
people
that.
you can get people from the military. You can get people from the IRS.
Yeah, no,
The IRS has some of the best accountants and actuaries in the country. Who would be better?
I don't.
But
No.
have subsidize them and give them loans and have them start it up legally.
I don't like that word subsidize. I just don't agree. I disagree.
We subsidize corn in this country.
I disagree.
Okay, so you disagree.
I'm not saying that these things don't occur. I'm just saying I disagree with them. I just think that deregulation is a big deal. So
that's part of it,
right?
Allowing more competition in the market.
I don't think having any more government entities open up to run anything else is a good idea. I think you deregulate to open up the market and you allow the competition to take place. And maybe you have a fucking entrepreneur that goes out with a business plan and raises fucking private money to open up his idea, which is a menued fucking service oriented urgent care.
Yeah,
and he fucking does it.
I'm saying that
and if the market wants that, it'll survive.
I'm saying that the medical industrial complex is so big that
it's fucking enormous.
They would never allow anybody in.
I get that.
Without some
without
sort
putting
of
it in their fucking
arm.
hand. I get it. That's I'm just saying I don't agree with that.
I mean, okay, so I'll put it to you this way. Look at the bank for the USSD. You know, I think it's a Air Force Bank or a Navy Bank.
No, you're thinking of.
There's 2 or 3 of them, right? Yeah. They're all banks that are based.
Navy Federal, I think.
Navy Federal, yeah. They're all banks that are based on government, some sort of government subsidy and some sort of government creation. They create a safe haven for our vets financially that they can go and find money. You follow what I'm saying?
Sure.
But they're not. The government's not running them. You know what I mean?
I don't honestly.
They're licensed by the government to create to offer a product, and because they're government affiliation, they have better access. Okay, so you do the same thing. You license an insurance company that is going to create a product that is driven by reinvesting the profits back into driving the cost down, and you have transparency. This would just be competition. Healthy competition into the market.
I don't agree. But that doesn't matter. What if you had like a person that, and I get that the big boys will run you, but honestly, if you had like the low cost health clinic, right, that you could do a lot of shit, a lot of shit, right?
Sure.
Like an Apple Hill up the road. Okay, but you had a menu, and you didn't deal with insurance companies, and you just took cash, or you set up some sort of financing,
like plastic surgery.
But reasonably priced.
No,
reasonably priced.
And it should be reasonably
priced.
But
does the price gouging just go up the line? Like, does the company making the IV solution bags, do they
charge more?
Do they charge more because they know that it's same fucking bullshit?
Of course. Listen, let me explain it to you the way I understand it. From a street level point of view, my friend, he ran one of the hospital's food systems. So they had like 3 restaurants, all the food for the patients, everything. So he was their top chef for all of the food production within the hospital.
Okay.
Their budget for machinery, stoves, sinks, etc.
$500,000.
$30,000 a month.
Oh, that way. Okay.
A month. $30,000 a month. Just for the machinery. That was their budget. That doesn't include the food and everything else they buy. I mean, that...
What are they getting in machinery? Are they opening up these places?
Ovens and stoves
constantly?
and this and that.
Like that often? $30,000 a month?
It breaks down the equipment.
For how many places?
3-4 restaurants. It's a lot of money. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. There's a lot of money that is just thrown away in hospitals.
Right.
Thrown
Right.
Fuck away, dude.
I don't know. Well, you just said restaurant.
Yeah, restaurants within hospitals. I'm telling you about one part of the hospital,
like the cafe.
That doesn't have to do with actually treating patients. They give them $30,000 a month just to buy equipment.
Right.
That's how much money is thrown around in hospitals.
No,
it's disgusting. It's sick how much money goes around in hospitals.
Dude, I don't disagree. That's not,
and that's what I'm trying to say. There's so much money in profiteering and crazy stuff going on in there that there has to be something that goes in and says, well, hey, we're done here. Enough is enough. Fuck you, and fuck you. You're charging too much. You're charging too much. You're cool. I'm out of here. Like, something has to be done. Whether it's legal reform that really punishes the monopolies for extorting people, which is hard to legislate because how do you do that?
Well, these guys are getting a kickback too.
What do? Do you go out and say this is how much this should cost?
Yes.
So now you're talking about government interference in the free markets.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, because every time that you say an idea like that, which I don't disagree with,
right?
Your idea of a solution is to have the government do it, and my idea is to have somebody that sees
I don't want
that there's an opportunity.
I don't want the government to do it for everybody. That's where you're getting it wrong.
But you just said you wanted a fucking
an
constitution
option
across the board. Now you don't want to
right, but I would say subsidize an option that people can use that is gonna be competitive against the big boys to make them more competitive.
And I say to you, who pays for that?
It would pay for itself.
How?
Because people would still have to buy the insurance from that company. You're just subsidizing.
Yeah, but who sets up the clinics and the fucking beds?
There's no clinics. What are you talking about? I'm talking about an insurance option. An insurance company that gives insurance to people, sells insurance to people.
So they start day one, right? They get 1 million people. 1 million people put $100 down?
Whatever it is. Whatever they actuate.
Let's just say.
They actuate. And whatever their subsidies can allow.
All right, so let's just talk about numbers.
Okay, let's talk about numbers.
Let's make a fake scenario.
Let's just say that the government subsidizes them for $1 billion.
No. Start from I want to build the fucking cost. Okay, so let's say day one, 1 million people go online. They sign up for Konstantine Care.
Konstantine Care, awesome.
Konstantine Care.
Yes.
Okay.
Hypothetically, you're speaking. Yes.
Actually, this episode is brought to you by Konstantine.
Konstantine Care.
All right.
Get your government insurance.
1 million people go out, right? All the actuary studies have been complete.
I mean,
right?
How much? First of all, I want to know how many people signed up from Obamacare. Wasn't it like 20, 30 million?
No, not even.
It's not 20, 30 million right now, though.
At this moment, I don't know what it is. I don't know.
So let's just say that 20, 30 million.
No. I'm saying day one. I want to paint this scenario.
Day one. Let's say we get 10 million people.
I don't think it'll be that high, but let's cut it in half and say 5.
Yeah, nationwide we're talking about.
But what are you talking? We're also talking about you don't have to sign up, correct? This isn't a mandated. You have to.
You don't have to. No.
No way you're getting 10 people to sign up. 10 million people to sign up. There's no fucking way.
All right, let's just say 1 million.
Day
people.
one.
Day one, 1 million people.
1 million people.
Yeah.
Okay.
$100 a month each.
Okay, so everybody puts $100 down on day one, right?
Okay.
$100 million. All
right.
Okay. What type of? Let's say the next day, 1%. Okay. Of your 1 million people.
1,000 people.
Okay. 10,000 people.
10,000 people. Yeah.
10,000 people get sick. Go for treatment.
Sure.
Where are they going? Are they going to the emergency room? Are they going to doctors? Or every mix in between?
Everything. I mean, it would be normal insurance.
Business as usual.
Yeah, they would have copays.
Okay, so you got $100 million.
I mean, now, you'd have to still start off with actuaries in the market, trying to find the best deals. So the insurance might cost $200 a person per month. I don't know, but it wouldn't be $600-700 a month that it is now for crazy coverage.
So let's say it's $300 a month and it's $300 million day one. Okay, boom, in the fucking checking account.
Yeah.
Savings account. Probably put in a savings.
Whatever. Yeah.
So $300 million. Now you have administrative fees, right? You got servers running your
pay for all
that.
Right,
all that shit. What's that cost?
I don't know. I mean, with computers and cloud technology, how many offices do you really need?
Who cares? Let's just say, how about this? What's your administrative fucking line item cost to run your company on day one? This shit has to happen. Day one. What is it? 10, 20%? 10?
I'm not sure. I would assume that through the subsidy program there would be enough money to cover.
No, this
that.
is the government. They're not subsidizing themselves. This is them.
No. I'm not advocating for the government to run an insurance company. I think that's where our conversation is getting twisted.
But if
I'm advocating for the government to subsidize,
so
a regulated business.
Sure, but when this regulated business has to set up all this shit, the administrative, the servers, they have to, they got to pay these people to do this work, right? So that's money at that moment. It's coming from somewhere. Where's it coming from?
Subsidies from the government.
So our pocket, me and you.
Sure,
but I don't agree with that.
Get it started. Yeah, why not? Why not? We subsidize NASA. Look how much shit's come out of NASA.
I don't agree with that either.
We subsidize so many farmers to make sure that they keep farming throughout the years. Even though the markets go up and down, they don't get fucked, so we always have food. We subsidize. There's a lot of stuff we do as a government to keep our country going. And this is just one of those things that I'm not saying we have to subsidize $1 trillion. I'm saying let it become a business, become profitable, and use its own profits. Dude, the insurance companies in this country boast record profits every year. And
right, we're talking in companies, though.
Multi-billions. So all I'm saying
is the government has not proven they can run anything.
Fine,
DMV,
so you don't get the government
Obamacare.
To do it. You don't get the government to do it. You get supercomputers, AIs, to do it.
Yeah, but who pays for that?
Government subsidies to get started, and then its own profit will pay for itself.
Yeah, but the government, we just agreed that the government cannot run things, right?
Okay, so
they can't be profitable.
So then do you go out and you create a subsidy, just like other subsidies, that if you want this subsidy, you have to fall into this category, and you have to follow these business rules. I mean, that's it. Simple like that. Come and start your business. Jeremy, you want to start a business? This is what I'm going to do for you. You got 20 years insurance experience running a bullpen or running an actuary. You're a mathematician. You went to MIT, whatever the case is, and you want to start your own company? Fine. I'm Uncle Sam. Come to me. I'm going to give you $500 million, but you have to open the business under these rules.
Nah, see, I'm fine with there being rules, reasonable rules.
Yes.
I'm fine with there being deregulation, taking bullshit barriers off the table.
Off the table, yeah.
Okay? But I'm not fine with the government saying, Mr. Whomever, here's $1 billion, whatever the number, I'm arbitrary. Could be $1,
yeah.
1 penny. I'm not cool with the government doing that. If you want to fucking open a business,
so what you're saying
to be profitable, I mean, these insurance companies.
But what you're saying is you have so much faith that if we deregulated, that smaller businesses would come into the market.
I don't know what the overall hey, do this and this will happen scenario is, but I just know that the government is not the answer.
I'm not saying the government's the answer, and I'm not. I think in your brain, you're thinking that
but you
want
just said
the government.
Uncle Sam plops down $1 billion.
Sure, just to jolt the markets and get them to even out. Just throwing a little fucking gas tank in the river and shooting it. Watch it blow up a little bit.
Nah, because you give them an inch, those motherfuckers.
What if they have to pay it back? We're going to give you government loans for $1 billion, but you got to follow these rules.
I mean, don't they sell
and
T-bonds?
This is the most you can pull out in profit. Everything else has to go back in.
I don't know. I just don't agree. I agree with you that all these problems are problems.
They're big problems, man.
But I don't agree on the solution, and that's okay. That we're not going to agree on that.
I mean, I agree that there has to be deregulation so the markets can.
Yeah, just like you said in the beginning, remove the state
boundaries and let people create companies that go all over the country.
Competition.
100%. There, I agree. That should have been done 20 years ago, before Obamacare.
Oh my God! But that's the government deregulating itself. That's the government saying we're taking our hand out of this situation.
No, really, it's the federal government growing balls and telling the states, "Look, this can't go on any longer."
It wasn't the states that were doing it.
It's always the argument they use to say why we can't do this because the state rights. The states have their own medical rules.
No,
when it comes to insurance, each state makes its own medical insurance rules. That's how
fine.
It works.
But different insurance companies can go into those states.
That's not the point. The point is that it should be uniform. All the
states.
That's
another argument.
Yep.
That's another argument. That goes back to health care.
I'm talking about a complete disbanding of the state rule over medicine, over insurance. Get rid of the states and make one federal rule for across the country so that they can build groups for the whole country and everybody can use their insurance everywhere. I mean, imagine, dude, if you can get on a group that spanned from California to Texas all the way across to Missouri.
Listen, here's my thought.
Might cost you $35 a month to have insurance.
Here's my thought on that, though. This whole system was set up to have states be the government of the people, right? And really, when you get down to it, politics is local. They always say that, right? So I disagree with you again because I don't think there should be one federal whatever. The federal get out, let the states dictate. If the states dictate what they can do, and these insurance companies don't like it, they can get it grassrooted to have a change made, and let their government, their state government or the local government, hear them out and make the fucking changes. And if the people don't like the changes those people made, then you vote different people in.
Bro,
and that's how it fucking works.
First of all, this country, when it was written, the laws and the seeding happened, was 1 million people living here. Now we're dealing with 330
But it's
million.
still run through a state. Each state is running its own fucking state.
But it's the state's interaction when almost everything else is federal. Your cell phone companies can go federal.
I disagree. I agree with you that happens. I disagree with the fact that happens.
Are you serious? That's called scaling the business. That's called economies of scale. That's what lowers costs to the consumer at the end of the day.
I think that's a false narrative.
Oh my gosh, really?
I don't.
Come on, Jeremy. This is basic economics.
It's not about economics. It's about government intervention. That's it. I'm not talking about economics.
I don't want the government. I want less government.
You just said you want a bloated federal government to tell the states what to do.
I want the federal government to tell the states to fuck off and let companies go out and do business.
I want it the other way. I want the state governments to tell the federal government to fuck off.
The state governments are the worst. If it wasn't for Pennsylvania's bullshit laws, we'd have cheap insurance.
I agree, and that's the fucking people voting in the fucking people.
The problem that you're actually defending is the fucking problem.
I'm not defending the fact that the state government... Clearly, Pennsylvania's government is fucked up in our opinion. It's
bureaucratic.
Sure, but you have to get access. But this is such a big rabbit hole because you have... Then vote these motherfuckers out. That's the people that are in government.
The state government?
Yes. So because you have the opportunity to affect...
You're telling me you believe that we can, through just Pennsylvania, change the goddamn insurance industry with just the legal matters in Pennsylvania?
I'm not saying the insurance industry. Okay, I'm just saying on a government level, if the federal government, if Washington, D.C. got out of our lives, get the fuck out of my state, and then we can, as the people, from a local level, start to make changes. Because to me, you complained about the politicians and their policies. I agree, they're fucking shit. But you got to change that from the fucking street level, roll it up into the state. Remember, the federal government's out, and the people fucking start to make their places that they actually live in. We got fucking Washington, D.C. running our local fucking schools. They know better down there than how to run our fucking schools. So my point is, get the feds out of everything and clean up your fucking states. If you want different people, vote different fucking people in. But it's so bureaucratic. It goes to a major fucking situation. I get the economic impact of a national fucking situation.
I'm talking. It's crazy because what you're talking about is allowing smaller and smaller segments across the country to dictate how business is done. So if you've got a business and you're scaling it nationally, you want to deal with the headache of fucking Virginia's laws and then Texas's laws and these guys' laws and those guys' laws. It's fucking bullshit. We need to streamline the system for what America is today. Because we're not fucking 50 individual states. We're America. We have the biggest army in the world. You know who has the biggest air force in the world? We do. Do you know who has the second biggest air force in the world? Our fucking Navy. Like, we have so much fucking army. That's not Virginia's army. That's the American army.
Sure, and that's what the Constitution was set up for.
Exactly.
To protect and defend. That's talking about that.
When you're talking about the state saying, hey, on our state, we're not going to let people dump. We're going to have EPA laws. We're going to have...
and then if people rules, don't fucking like that...
Right. They got to get the fuck out.
But they get the fuck out. And the state fucking loses revenue.
What you're talking about now is not the same as them saying we got to protect our people. What you're talking about is like insurance, as a state holding insurances back from being cheap. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's hurting the people. It's costing more money. Like I'm talking about actually deregulating here.
Yeah, I said that. I agree with that.
I'm talking
that's
about,
the government getting out.
The federal government coming in and telling the state government, "You're done. You're out."
And then doing what? That's regulation. That's just federal regulation.
Right, but
which you have fucking bullshit no effect over.
But it helped. I mean, it's proven to have changed the auto insurance industry.
I don't know what it was, what it is. I don't know any of the fucking laws about it. I don't know enough to talk about the auto industry. I do know that
these are actually right-wing talking points. Like, this is exactly what.
I don't know. I don't care about right wing, left wing, anything. This is.
I'm just saying. This is what
as an individual.
As an individual, yeah. And as an individual, you want,
I mean, you just said the fucking IRS sucks. They suck. Why do I want any more government hand in my life?
Well, the IRS sucks because it's draconian, and with technology and everything that we have right now, it should be much easier.
Well, forget about it as people that are there doing work.
Right. No,
as an entity.
It's not the people I hate. It's the laws. Once again, we get back to the way the laws are written.
Sure, but if you take the laws all away, right? Let's say you implemented a fair tax or a flat tax. I don't care.
Right.
But you wouldn't have a need for an IRS, or at least not 2 million employees, whatever the fuck it is that work at the IRS.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Most of it can be done by an AI today.
Well, but listen.
If it was a flat tax and you knew you made $60,000 this year, you got to pay 10%. And they got to divvy it up between the governments. Good. Here, take my $6,000, divvy it up amongst yourselves. Whatever the case is. Just don't bother me.
Right,
don't tell me I got to pay
doing that system, taking away the fucking current tax code and laws, and implementing that was, you described, the flat tax. You don't need an IRS. That's taking a government entity away. That's my point. It's making my point.
I agree. And I'm saying the same thing here. Take the fucking state governments out of the game. Take out that layer.
I want it.
The federal government's already in the goddamn game.
They shouldn't be.
So take away one layer and make it easier. Less government. Less government. The problem is the argument's always, we want less government, we want less federal government. But the fact of the matter is you want less state and local government.
Yeah, of course you do. You want to just be able to fucking... Do you really care about...
I do, because look, in the federal level, you have actual intelligent people, on both sides who are educated.
Who?
Smart. What do you mean? There's plenty of smart people on both sides. Not the ass clowns you see on TV screaming every day, but there's really smart people. When you get down to the local level and you go to your local borough or whatever it is, you got people who are good people, but they're not entrepreneurs or lawyers. Usually, they're punching a clock. They're punching a clock at some shop.
In a segment, of course, they are.
Dude, these people are making like $20,000 a year with problems like you or I, or $50,000 a year.
But those aren't the people.
And then they're going. Yes, then they go and they run our local governments, and they're in charge of a $10 million budget, and they're making laws, local ordinances, and stuff that affect your life. And this is how it happens through every layer of government going up. We have so much government.
But we have the opportunity to vote. And if people want to fucking make a difference and a change, then go fucking vote for the person that's speaking to what you fucking want.
I agree. I think everybody should vote.
So if you don't want your worker making $20,000 a year,
it should be a national holiday. I think the day we vote should be a national holiday, and everybody should have to vote. Legit. I think it should be like, you want to be a citizen, you have to fucking vote at least once a year. If you don't fucking vote, you lose your shit. You're out.
You lose what shit?
What citizenship?
Yeah, but what? If you didn't vote,
fuck you. You're out of here.
You're an American boy.
I vote every time.
But let's just say somebody doesn't want to fucking vote. Let's just say they don't fucking care, because there's plenty of people that don't, right?
Yeah.
They should just get kicked out of the country?
Yes, kick them all out.
That seems a little fucking extreme, Hitler. Jesus Christ, why don't you just fucking burn them?
I'm being facetious, of course.
Okay,
I'm
but
not
so
being
but, so okay, so fine.
serious.
So in your
but if you want
fascism,
people to vote, make it a national holiday and promote the vote.
Of course, they promote the vote now. Get out the vote, all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah. That's fine. I can agree. I actually like that national holiday.
Make sure everybody gets off work. Everybody has off work.
But I don't think it should be compulsory to go fucking vote. Like,
I was being facetious in that, of course.
It should be a choice to vote. Right. However, I like the national holiday idea.
It should be a national holiday.
I like that.
100%.
Because it's that important.
Yeah.
So, but that then lends to my point, which is that it is that fucking important And so therefore, if you have a problem with what goes on in the place you live, then
Right.
fucking
Go
go out
vote.
and vote for the
Okay.
person that you agree with.
I
And
agree.
I don't
But-
think the
but-
government
but listen,
at any
listen,
level.
This is how this is why I'm confused by your argument, and I don't.
My argument is I don't want the government in my
I know,
fucking life.
but
Period.
we have a republic, a representative government. So the fact of the matter is that we try to vote people in to voice our opinions. But when you have 5 to 10 layers of government from the bottom of the state level to the top of the state level,
It's absolutely ridiculous.
and then you have 5 to 10 layers of federal government,
Of course.
and all those layers are making rules around you. Something needs to get cleaned up there.
Yes,
that's what
100%.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, let's fucking just give the federal government all the power so that Washington, New York, and LA run the fucking country. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there has to be a streamlining of legal norms across the country so that businesses like insurance that handle our health, something we can't do without, a monopoly. It's a monopoly system. They should be more, what do you call that? Not regulated, but
That's what you want to say.
More
I know.
uniform. No, more uniform across the board. Like this is how it's going to work across the country because it's a major issue. We spend 3 times more than any other Western rich country on medical expenses per capita. That's insane. Why? We have a lower life expectancy. We have fucking one of the biggest opioid problems in the fucking world.
Yeah, which is perpetrated by China and the southern border. But
Southern,
whatever, we're not talking about that.
I don't want to talk about that. That's too much.
But wait a second. I agree. I don't disagree that there are these issues. I guess our solutions are a bit.
They're similar. It's just I'm a little more.
You're a little more.
Let's get shit done. Let's find a way to get shit done.
I think shit can get done with deregulation and capitalistic ideas.
Yeah, but look, dude. Right now, here's the problem with half of this. Whether we're socialists or capitalists, we've since FDR, we've been a socialist country. We created modern socialism.
What was bubbling with Woodrow Wilson?
I'm just saying, we created modern socialism with our social security system, with our, Medicare, all that stuff. We created all those things
Food
to help
stamps.
people, because of the Great Depression. So we've been partially socialist in this. We've been a true democratic socialist country since then. A republic whose democracy is based on representation.
Sure, that's my
point. So that's where people they don't get it, and I know your point.
I love that idea of a national holiday.
Yeah, that should
I
happen.
gotta tell you, it's a fucking great idea.
That should happen.
We should start a hashtag around that.
I think it's been around. I think people have discussed that idea before.
Really?
I don't want to take credit for it because I feel like I heard that somewhere.
Really, I have to look that
up. Somebody might have said it. I can't remember. I mean, if I came up with it, that's awesome, but I don't think so.
I don't know. I honestly, I never heard that, but it does make sense.
We have a national holiday for, people.
Let me tell you the thing about what that is such is that vote vote day is always Tuesday.
Yeah.
And who fucking wants a day off on a Tuesday? It'd be nice to switch that till Friday.
Who cares? I mean, dude, it's perfect that it's on a Tuesday because then people aren't going to be thinking I got to go out, I got to whatever. It's dedicated to the vote.
Right.
You get your day off on Tuesday to go and vote.
And you think about your country that day.
Right. Make it like a patriotic day. Make it a second July 4th. It's National Vote Day. Get your fucking flag, get to the polling station, and push the button that, that person represents you the most. Exactly.
Locally
And federally, whatever. You got to vote
of course
everything.
you're voting all across the board, but whatever. So, all right. Well, listen, let's end it on an agreement of a day off.
National holiday.
Yeah.
For voting. That's I think that's a good idea.
You want government run
I also
concentration camps. I get it. We're good.
I love how you twist my words. It's funny because I'm such a centrist with both leanings, left and right, depending on what we're talking about. But there's certain things where the government, if it's utilized correctly, can be very effective. There's a reason we made it 200 years and became the most successful country in the world, in the history of the world.
240 years.
Right.
40, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. 240.
It's fucking
Yeah.
badass.
It's a long. It's a decent amount of time. It's a small for compared to other, like Rome and whatever other empires. But we've done extremely well in 250 years.
Right.
But
the Roman Empire fell, so that's not a good comparison.
Right. I mean, Dark Ages and all that. I'm not making it. Well, that was 1,000 years later after society it ate itself from within. And we could talk about that too because that's happening a lot in this country.
I'm not versed on any of that.
Yeah, I could teach you some things.
Yeah, I know you could.
It's pretty crazy, but the point being is we're looking at like you said, 240 years that our government, the way it's set up, has gotten us this far and done miracles for so many people.
It's a great experiment, isn't it what they call it?
It's the greatest experiment ever. So to sit here and say that we need to completely get rid of the government
I didn't say that.
Is as extreme to me as saying that we need government control over everything.
I didn't. Well, I know you're not saying I did, unless you are.
Right,
I never said that, but I agree that is an extreme view. I just think that the government has its role, and it should just stop there.
Well, yeah, but that's my point, is utilizing the government for its role in order to get the outcomes that we need.
Right, but I think we disagree on their role. But that doesn't matter. So we
agree. But what you're proposing is fundamentally changing the way the government is run right now.
Well, of course I am. I mean, I'm not saying it's like, hey, snap your fucking fingers and boom, it's in this world where those things occur. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, that's my view of the role of the government.
Yeah.
Anyways, get out. Let's put in the vote for the National Day Off of Vote.
Yeah.
If you know somebody, tell somebody. We want voting day. Hashtag
voting day holiday.
Vote. We'll have to think of a cool name for that
Super
for
Tuesday.
next week. Ooh, there is a Super Tuesday, though, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
But we need it to be like a holiday, like President's Day or Flag Day. Vote Day.
Yeah, vote day.
Boom. Yeah. Hashtag vote day.
Hashtag vote day.
Anyways, I guess thanks for joining us. Should we end it here?
Yeah.
And please subscribe. Tell all your friends. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter,
Tumblr,
the Matzo Ball, all at the Matzo Ball Soup.
Yep.
If you don't have any of those, check out MySpace. Right?
Well, and don't forget that if you...
and AOL Instant Messenger. Check us out on AOL Instant Messenger
as well. And don't forget that if you guys want to catch these beautiful podcasts, you can see them on YouTube as well.
Well, hear them at least.
Hear them at this point. We haven't started doing video yet, but we probably will eventually.
Yeah, maybe. Only if the government runs it.
They do, technically, because if you get really deep into the conspiracy aspect of it, Google and Amazon and all that, they all have government backing.
Well,
there's government money and all that stuff, man. If you really dig deep. So I say that's why I laugh when people are like, "Oh, the government can't do anything."
No, they're in everything.
The government don't want them in. The government does Google right. They do Amazon right. They do Walmart right. Probably there's money in all of that. That's why I laugh about it, because the government does know what the fuck they're doing. They're very good at what they do. There's a reason the CIA runs all the heroin into this country. I mean, what?
Listen, I don't think the government's good at what they do, but they're good at what they do as a sneaky fucking entity. Anyways, all right. Well,
the goddamn swamp.
See you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
L'chaim!